the Freezerworks 2018 Learning Series, your visual guide to our sample management software. Today we're going to take that label format we created last time and print it from the list view, from inside a sample, from a workflow, and from Explore Freezers. So let's get started with the simplest example. What if you just need to find some records on your list view and print labels for them? Well, you do so by opening list view first of all. I'll just select Search View All, but you can run any of these other searches to quickly find the records you need to print labels for, or use the ones on the list view itself. Once you're on the list view, you'll want to either highlight a selection of samples or a selection of aliquots. When selecting samples, you can either print labels for the samples themselves or for each aliquot that comes from the samples. Let's highlight two samples with 8 aliquots each. From here, we can either click the Print button on the left, then click Print Labels on the contextual menu, or select Labels, Print Labels from the menu at the top. Both methods will get us to the Print Labels window. From here, we select our label format and printer. I'll go with the video label from last time, then my zebra printer. As you can see, the label format I created last time appears in the preview window. Now I need to determine whether to print labels for samples or for aliquots. I highlighted two samples with 8 aliquots each, so printing labels per aliquot will yield 16 labels, while per sample will just be 2, unless I decide to print more than one per, which I totally could. I'm going to keep this simple and leave it as 1 per aliquot. That way we can go over these other two options. Normally, we only print labels for aliquots with freezer positions assigned, so if you'd like labels printed for all aliquots, make sure to check the box Include aliquots with no assigned position. If you'd like to print a range of aliquots for each sample, say only aliquots 1 through 4, you can do so by filling in this range box. It works just like entering a print range for any ordinary document. Just be sure to check it on too. When all settings are configured to your satisfaction, go ahead and hit Print. And there we go. I'm getting a label for the first 4 aliquots of each sample I selected on the list view. But what if you like to open up your sample records and really look at your aliquots before printing labels? Well, you can do that too. Let's open this sample, highlight the aliquots we want to print labels for, and click Other Actions, then Print Labels on the contextual menu. The Print Labels window opens. Start by selecting your printer again. Then, as you can see, the printing options have been set according to our selection. I highlighted the first 3 aliquots in the sample, so we are printing 1 label per aliquot and only for aliquots 1 through 3 according to range. When you're ready, click Print. And there are my 3 labels printing. If you want to quickly print labels for the whole sample, however, with the sample still open, open the Labels menu at the top and click Print Labels. From here you can provide the specific aliquot numbers you want to print labels for, or simply print for all of them. Let's click Cancel, however, and return to the list view. You may have learned this watching our workflow series, but printing labels can be part of your workflow. So let's run one, and I'll show you how to work the Print Labels page. Start by highlighting the desired aliquots you want to run a workflow on. Click Process Workflow, and select your desired workflow operation. I'm going to go with Checkout. I'll then select my workflow and click Continue. When your workflow opens, look for the Print Labels page. If you can modify it, be sure to select the label format and printer, as well as enter the desired number of labels per aliquot. I'll just select the printer. Then, when you process the workflow, you'll be given the normal Print Labels form. You should be familiar with this by now. Select your format, your printer, and then set the number of labels per aliquot. When you're finished, click Print. Your workflow will be run, and your labels will be printed accordingly. Finally, let's take a look at Explore Freezers, and how you print labels from there. Open the Search menu, and select Explore Freezers. Go ahead and open up a freezer until you reach the box level and an image of your aliquots. Use a shift click in the freezer picture to highlight the aliquots you want to print labels for. Then right-click on the picture to bring up the contextual menu. From here, select Print Labels and run through the form once more. Click Print, wait for your labels, and that's all there is to it. And that's all we have for today. The Print Labels form is pretty simple. It always works about the same way. But hopefully you learned a thing or two about where you can print labels in Freezerworks. Remember, if you need help creating your label formats, see part 1 of this series. Otherwise, for any further questions, see our help guide or contact our dedicated support staff. Thanks as always for watching, and see you next time.